Welcome to Power in Words, your sanctuary for the soul and a beacon of positive energy in a noisy world. This is not just a channel, it is a community, a quiet space where we gather to explore the profound architectures of our own minds, finding strength in the language we use to define ourselves and our reality. Here we believe that words are not merely descriptors, they are creators. And today we stand before one of the most potent, disarmingly simple creations in the history of human thought, a quote from Henry Ford that acts as a perfect, unflinching mirror to our innermost potential. Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. This statement is not a challenge. It is not a taunt. It is a diagnosis. It is perhaps the most concise and profound summation of cognitive psychology ever uttered, delivered not from a therapist's couch, but from the factory floor of a man who reshaped the world by believing he could. We often treat this quote as a piece of motivational fluff, a platitude to be embroidered on a pillow. But to do so is to ignore the terrifying, liberating truth it holds. It is a key that fits two locks, one opening to boundless possibility, the other sealing us in a prison of our own design. Ford is telling us that the universe is, in a way, profoundly indifferent. It does not argue with us. It simply validates the deepest story we tell about ourselves. Let us first, with courage, look at the shadow this mirror casts. Let us examine the heavy, suffocating gravity of I can't. Where is this voice born? It is a ghost, a phantom woven from the threads of past failures, the casual criticisms of a teacher 30 years gone, the protective warnings of loving parents, the curated perfection we see on screens that whispers you are not enough. I can't rarely arrives as a rational decision. It seeps in, a slow fog, until it becomes the very atmosphere we breathe. We mistake it for humility. We mistake it for realism. We call it managing expectations. But what it truly is an abdication. When a person truly deeply believes I can't, they are not just making a prediction. They are issuing a command to their own subconscious. The mind, obedient, begins its work. It lowers the energy, dampens the ambition, and activates a sophisticated filtering system. Suddenly, the world is filled with evidence confirming the belief. We see only the obstacles. We remember only the failures. We meet someone who did succeed at the very thing we desire, and our mind instantly finds the exception. Well, they had more money. They had the connections. They're just built different. We protect the I can't as if it were a fragile treasure, because to challenge it is to risk failure. And I can't is a fortress against the vulnerability of trying. Consider the painter who dreams of a gallery show but believes I can't possibly make a living from my art. This belief is not a passive observation. It is an active saboteur. Because she believes she can't, she does not wake up at 5 a.m. to paint before her day job. She does not finish the challenging centerpiece. She does not send the applications to the galleries, or if she does, it is with a self-defeating energy that recipients can almost feel. When the rejection letters come, or worse, the silence, she nods, validated. See? She whispers to herself. I was right. And she is. She is absolutely heartbreakingly right. She has built her reality from the blueprint of her doubt. This is the nocebo effect of the soul, a negative belief that manifests a negative outcome. We build these cages with such precision. I can't find love. This thought colors every interaction. It creates an aura of defensiveness, of neediness, or of aloofness, projecting a barrier that repels the very connection it craves. I can't get healthy. This thought makes the sofa magnetic and the running shoes feel like lead. It makes the taste of nourishing food seem bland and the lure of poison feel like comfort. In every scenario, the outcome, the loneliness, the poor health is presented as Exhibit A in the case for I can't, when it was, in fact, the result of it. We are the architects of our own self-fulfilling prophecies. But Ford's quote is a perfect duality. It is a coin with two faces, and we have the power to flip it. The space between can't and can is not a vast, impassable chasm. It is the width of a single thought. It is the moment of cognitive rebellion. This is where the work of the excellent psychologist meets the craft of the excellent writer. We must learn to rewrite the script. The shift does not begin with a roar. It rarely begins with sudden, unshaken confidence. That is a myth. The journey from I can't to I can often begins with a different, quieter, more potent phrase. What if? What if I'm wrong about myself? What if the voices that told me I was unworthy were themselves broken? What if I just tried? Not to succeed, but just to try. This is the sound of the key turning in the lock. This is the beginning of I think I can. When you begin to think you can, the same obedient mind that sabotaged you now becomes your greatest ally. It is the most powerful confirmation bias engine in the universe, and now you have pointed it towards success. You begin to filter the world for solutions. The obstacles, once mountains, now look like challenges to be engineered. You read a book and the exact phrase you need leaps off the page. You meet a person at a coffee shop who happens to know someone you need to meet. This isn't magic, it is alignment. Your internal state, your belief, has shifted your perception, and in doing so, altered your behavior. You are now receptive to the opportunities that were perhaps there all along, hidden by the fog of your can't. Let us return to our painter. Imagine she wakes one morning and, instead of I can't, she entertains the thought, I think I can paint one small thing today. That is all. She is not committing to the gallery show. She is committing to a single action born of a single fragile belief. She paints. The next day, I think I can finish that sky. She does. The I can is not a destination. It is a muscle. It grows stronger with each repetition. As she works, her skill improves. As her skill improves, her belief solidifies. She begins to research galleries. She speaks about her work with a new, quiet authority. When the rejections come, she no longer sees them as proof of I can't. She sees them as information. This gallery wasn't the right fit. I can find the one that is. She has shifted from being the victim of her prophecy to being the author of it. This is the placebo effect of the soul. We give ourselves the sugar pill of belief, and our entire system responds as if it were the most potent medicine in the world. Because it is. We see this in stories that touch us most deeply. The marathon runner is a perfect metaphor. No one wakes up and runs a marathon. They start by believing they can run to the end of the block. That small, victorious reality then gives them permission to believe they can run a mile. The belief precedes the evidence, and in doing so, creates the evidence. The person learning a new language after 50, told by everyone, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Their belief that I can learn 10 new words today is the force that wires new neural pathways. The brain is not fixed. It is plastic, waiting for instructions. And the most powerful instruction is, I can. This is why the work we do here at Power in Words is so essential. The words we choose for our internal dialogue are the building blocks of the life we will inhabit. Ford's quote is the ultimate statement of accountability. It gently but firmly removes all our excuses. It tells us that our circumstances, our past, and the opinions of others are all secondary data. The primary force, the alpha and the omega of our lived experience, is the conviction we hold in our own hearts. It is a terrifying responsibility, is it not? To know that the power rests so completely within us. It is terrifying because it means we can no longer blame the world for our stagnation. But, it is also the ultimate liberation. It means that at any moment, in any circumstance, no matter how dire, we have access to the single most powerful tool for change in the universe, the ability to change our minds. We are not just observers of our lives, we are the active narrators. The story you tell yourself today will be the life you live tomorrow. Are you writing a tragedy of limitations or an epic of resilience? Are you crafting a narrative of I can't, filled with closed doors and missed chances? Or are you a writer in the grip of a powerful new idea, the idea of I can, sensing the plot twists, the allies, the resources waiting just pages ahead? Look in that mirror. See the reflection. It is not judging you. It is waiting. It is waiting for you to decide which reality it should reflect. The power is not in the world outside. It is in the thought. It is in the word. The battle is not won on the field. It is won in the mind, long before the first step is ever taken. If these words resonated within you, if you feel the stir of that internal power, please like and subscribe to Power in Words so we can continue this journey of transformation together.